Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peeps that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I want to welcome you to a thorough Thursday because we're going to get into it today, y'all. And I'm so excited for my guests who are in the building. Up first, we got Eric Jackson, the president and owner of Washington Rebels Group. We're going to be talking to him about the great work that they're doing and a bit of his journey that got him started with creating that group. And then later on in the show, one of our bros is back in the building. Isiah Anderson Jr. is back. Of course, he is the artistic director of Acts on Stage. And you know it's summertime, so we got to be talking about the Teen Summer Musical. So I'm so excited I get the chance to talk to him later on in the show. But of course, as you know, it's the top of the show. So this is the time where you get to participate with us. You know, you're basically a virtual guest here because you are going to share this show with folks who you feel could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on the Day with Trae. And you're helping us grow by sharing. And I want to thank y'all for doing that because we are reaching new audiences. And that is because folks are talking about us and sharing. So thank you so much for doing that. But of course, if you can't watch our TV show, we still have you covered because you can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and The Day with Trae. You'll find me wherever you find your favorite podcast. Okay, we're on all the platforms. Well, up next, I get the pleasure and opportunity to speak with Eric Jackson all about Washington Rebels Group. Hi, Eric.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great to see you.
Great to see you as well. Great to see you as well.
Well, this is exciting because I get to learn all about you and what Washington Rebels Group is doing. But it sounds like y'all are in the sports industry. So before we get into the work of the organization, tell us a little bit more about what got you started on this journey.
Well, thank you for having us, having the group here today. We wanted to make sure that we touch base with Converge. We know how important it is for the community, so we wanted to be a part of that. How we got into the sports world, my sons played sports. So I watched them grow up playing sports, playing football specifically. Then they played some basketball and baseball, but it was more football. And after COVID, everybody had to get creative on what they were gonna do financially. So they kind of had to use your creative juices to figure out how to make money and survive and things like that. So I worked in law enforcement, left law enforcement, and I went into the sports entertainment business, which was arena football. And I worked for 2 years with an arena football team in Wenatchee. Went to a championship the second year, excuse me. Yeah, unfortunately we came up short. But I told myself if I ever got the chance to do that again, to be a part of another organization, that I would run it a little bit differently, with a little bit more success and a little bit more unity. And a couple of years later, I got the chance to do that. And so I sit here in front of you as the owner and president of the Washington Rebels Group, LLC.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, this is exciting because I love seeing that we are having so much of attention to creating sports teams here in Washington State that really give more opportunities to folks. Because when we think about sports, I think so many of us go straight to professional sports, right? We're like NFL, NBA, right? NHL, we go straight to the professional sports, but there's so many great leagues that we have. Tell us more about the Rebels.
Well, the Rebels, we are part of the IFL2 team. We are going to be playing in 2025 in Kent, Showers Center in Kent. So we are looking forward to our inaugural season. We're based out of Kent. We are community-based. We're a community-based team. So everything that has to do with Kent, we've embraced, and vice versa. Also, what we're going to be doing is doing outreach community programs for a lot of the younger generation that's going to be, that next generation that's going to be coming up playing for us in the future. Mm-hmm. We want to work with them now, give them opportunities now, give them an outlet now. And so we've split not only the football team, but we've also split the community with the LLCs, with the Washington Rebels, excuse me. A little hot in here. With our LLC and the Washington Rebels group, we're working with the community on that side. And then we have our coach and our general manager working with the football team on the left side. So we're making sure that we are connecting with both sides.
Amazing.
We're all encompassing.
Well, I think you have to have that kind of commitment to community too, right? I mean, there's something very special about young athletes, being a part of an organization from a younger age and feeling connected to it, and really being able to have those ties that bind them, right? Which oftentimes does not happen. What are some of the things that y'all are excited about in terms of, bridging the gap for some of these young athletes?
Well, we have our board of directors has former and current NFL players that are on there. So being able to have the resources like that, to be able to reach out to the younger generation, to talk to them on a higher level, those guys that they see on TV, they're actually able to speak with them and kind of pick their brain and get advice from the guys who've actually done that, been in the trenches. So we made sure that we were connecting with those guys and that they sat with us and they were able to use their connections for their outreach for Kent and for the surrounding areas as well.
Well, it stands to reason why y'all would be talking about how you're providing a positive impact to community, particularly in the sports world. I know so much about the circuit. My oldest son, played AAU basketball since like second grade all the way through until he was on the high school team, and now my youngest son is playing playing football, and he's been playing for the last few years. And so there's always this family commitment, right? And so talk to us about how you're really reaching the families, because they're such a major part of this and those decisions for young folks to be engaged in athletics.
We want to make sure that the community comes first. So when we pick up some of those players, they're coming from Kent.
Yeah.
The only way that we're going to have that community based is if we are able to connect the families with the team and the team with the arena. And so when you're picking players that are from that area, that grew up in that area, that have family and friends in that area, you're going to have more eyes on your product when you're there. So that is the first and foremost thing that we wanted to do, was make sure that a lot of our players came from Kent, came from the surrounding areas, so that we can have their families inclusive with them as well, and with us as well. Plus, we want to engage with them on certain ideas that they might have outside of football. Doing community outreach programs, doing workshops for the younger generation, for the younger kids, going into the high schools, because those are the ones that are actually going to be playing for us in a couple of years. So we want to start with the high schools and going higher into colleges. Also, we work with the health community. A lot of people kind of forget Alzheimer's starts with CTE. A lot of Alzheimer's start with CTE. CTE starts with football. So the collisions and the connections are automatically there. So we want to give the younger generation kind of the tools that they need to play the game the right way, play it safe, but play it to your heart's content, because we know you love it. But also play it safe, because we want to see you on the field in a Hall of Fame jersey. We want to see you as the next Deion Sanders, Ricky Waters, Shannon Sharp. We want that. We want to see you do that.
Well, it's phenomenal, because I really appreciate your dedication to not only the wellness, right? Because that's, like, for me, I was one of those apprehensive football moms. I was like, I'm used to basketball. It felt safer to me. And my youngest son said, Mom, please let me play football. It's in my heart. And he was like 6, 7 years old. I'm like, okay, let me figure out a way for you to do this safely. So I really appreciate that y'all are putting that on the forefront. But tell us a little bit more about some of the logistics here. I have a couple questions. One is around the age range. I mean, what kind of young folks are y'all looking to bring onto the team? What does that look like in terms of the process?
So what we would like to do is I don't want to mesh the younger kids with older professionals, because you have a different mindset. When you put an older person that has been playing football in a position to where he has to share a locker room with a younger generational kid, the mindsets might not be the same. You might have an amateur mindset as opposed to a pro mindset. So we want them both to have a pro mindset. The age range, it's going to differ. It's going to differ from state to state. But with ours, I would like for you to be right out of college, or at least have 2 years of college before you play for us. But it's really all about the camaraderie when you're in the locker room. We want to make sure that those older veterans are connecting with those younger guys. And we want to make sure the mindset is still the same. We don't want the amateur hour. That's a dysfunction and it's a disruption.
Yeah. Well, also too, I mean, you're talking about being, specific to Kent, being very committed. How are y'all reaching some of these, potential players?
We have a huge staff, and our staff consists of Sam Smith, who is our coach. He's coached on the college level. He's coached on the indoor football level. He's won a ring. Our general manager, he's won a ring as well, arena football. So, and he's worked with the GDFL. So that's one level below us. So they have a vast knowledge of what players to go after. But then I took it even further, and what I did was I connected with the Seattle Seahawks alumni group, and I used them as my advisors. So when I need to reach out to players that are out of my reach, they will be able to reach them. Plus now we have Jordan Babineau, who's one of our advisors, but he also sits on our board of directors. So being able to enhance our ability to reach out to NFL players or NFL-like players is very easy for us because of the connections that we have, but also the people that are sitting and helping us maneuver our team into the future.
Wow, y'all have done such a great job to build a phenomenal team, and it definitely takes a team to take this on. I'm so glad that you were here to shed some light on Washington Rebels and the ways that y'all are structuring your organization to really be community focused. Thanks so much for your work. Of course, if folks are trying to learn more, if they want to get plugged in or get engaged, please look right there. Let them know how they stay connected.
So you can reach us at WashingtonRebels.pro. That's our official website. You can also reach me at Eric Jackson, Washington Rebels, on our LinkedIn page. And you can also reach my vice president, who is also the other co-owner, Lyle Cruz Jr., at Lyle Cruz Jr. MBA.LinkedIn, I believe.
Right on. Eric, thanks so much for being here, and thanks for your commitment. It's amazing to see.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Oh, wow, y'all. I just learned so much, and I'm sure you did too. And up next, we're going to continue learning because Isiah Anderson Jr. is back in the building, y'all. We're going to learn all about this year's Teen Summer Musical. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time, watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up. Break you in and break you out. In the end, we gon' make a child. Then we gon' hit the shower. Part 2, we don't need no pause. You misty, we gon' get tipsy. Don't need a power slide.
Copy my steel. Face the fact that. Copy my steel. Face the fact that. Let's start the show.
Hello, welcome to Elite Insights with Carlos Imani. We're looking to offer an in-depth look at event production industry through the lens of client experiences and joint successes. The podcast will emphasize guest interviews, focusing on client discussing their fields and reflecting on their collaboration with Elite Collective. Again, you're with Elite Insights. Carlos Imani here. See you guys in a few.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now is my brother, Isiah Anderson Jr. What's up?
What's good, Queen?
Always good to see you.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Well, this year we are bringing back Snow White and the Seven. This is really phenomenal. Snow White and the Seven, each one teach one.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about this production.
Well, I always take these original stories and chocolatize them and give them some culture. so that our young people will have an opportunity to see what it's like and how they should feel as a lead role, right? This program was created so that young kids of color could have lead roles because they weren't getting them in the schools. They weren't getting them in those other community theater programs. And so Langston Hughes Cultural Arts Center at the time, Steve Sneed and Rico Bembry and those guys said, let's do it, and they did it. And it is still existing 25 plus years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a phenomenal program, and honestly, it is one that is the most unique experience for young people. And as a parent now, with my son being in it, I tell you, every day he get in that car, and that joint 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, he get in that car and he's done.
Yes.
He's like, I mean, before I can sometimes even pull off from Langston, he's knocked out. But y'all really infuse the professional industry into the experience. Tell us a bit about that blending, because it's not just like community theater. I mean, y'all are really like giving them a professional look at theater and the world of production. Tell us more about that.
And I will. Again, the purpose of that program was to allow these young people this professional look, right? It's not just doing this small time, what people think is a school performance. We have professional individuals, myself, Michelle Lang Raymond, Cedric Thomas, costume designers, Carlicia Menace. So we have all professionals that these young people are working with who look like them. And so we take this community theater and we take it to a major theater downtown Seattle. We were at the Paramount Theater for 7 years, the Moore Theater for about 5 years, Seattle Rep for about 5 years. And now we're back at the Benaroya Hall this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you, I think every year when I get to cover Teen Summer Musical, I think to myself, first off, if I would have had, I was always in a production, but the idea of understanding the full scale of theater production, what that means and what that looks like, and the amount of work that it takes to pull these productions together is incredible. But also, y'all are always working with a lot of young folks. I mean, this is what I think so many young folks run to the auditions as soon as y'all open them up, because this is a chance of a lifetime for them. But that also means y'all got a bunch of young folks on your hands. How is it working day in and day out?
The fact that we've had this opportunity to have this program be 25 plus years old, we got a system, and it's a system that works. So these kids are committed Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, for 10 weeks with us. And their ages are 9 to 18. And we don't treat the 9 to 13-year-olds any different than we do the 14 to 18-year-olds. They all have to follow the same structure. Everybody's got to be there on time. The program is such that somebody said to me it was Seattle's best kept secret. And I said to them that after 25 plus years, why is it still a secret?
Yeah.
Why is it still a secret?
Wow. I really love that response, because honestly, it definitely should not be a secret. And the more and more people who have exposure to it and understand what y'all are doing, I think it's becoming less and less of that. For me, everybody knows about the Teen Summer Musical, so I think you just got to be the one in the know. I mean, to be honest, because if you know, you know.
Right.
But this story, you're always infusing, and you do the work. I mean, let me just say kudos to you for all of the artistry that you bring into these productions, because you are taking these age-old concepts and you're refreshing them. You said culturalizing them, but also this is your writing. This is your work. You're understanding
piece.
these characters, and there's always a message in it. What is that? What are we looking forward to in this year's production?
This year's production, we want everybody to come out because Snow White is taking a trip to Africa with 7 others. And you're going to get there and find that they're in search of this gold. They're in search of this gold that they can then share with the world. And it's just a fabulous story. 74 young people are going to be gracing the Benaroya Hall stage. And they are going to have a great time August 23rd through the 25th, 5 shows. We want people, there's a lot going on in August in our community. But we want people to look at the calendar and go, I got to get my acts on stage, Teen Summer Musical, Parks and Recreation ticket to the Teen Summer Musical because it is going to be just that fabulous.
Yeah, 74 young folks. I knew it seemed like a lot, but goodness, y'all are, every time I want to give y'all kudos. And of course, you and Michelle holding it down together for Acts on Stage and connecting with this opportunity to continue the Teen Summer Musical is just a phenomenal opportunity for young folks. Of course, people got to know how they're going to get their tickets though. So I got to let you tell them,
Without a doubt.
how do they get their tickets? Let them know.
Tickets are on sale right now. You go to the Benaroya Hall, contact their website, and tickets are on sale. Or you can go down to the Benaroya Hall box office during opening hours and get your tickets, you know, for a minimal fee right there. You ain't got to pay them major taxes. So go on down to Benaroya Hall right now and get your tickets.
Isiah, thank you so much for your dedication and your work. And
Trae, we love you.
You also graced us in your presence with these phenomenal shoes that I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Y'all can see this on this wide camera here. Those are some phenomenal shoes. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Always a pleasure. We love you. Oh my goodness, y'all. Of course, I get the pleasure now to wrap up all of this beautifulness right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Seattle really is just a big neighborhood. It was a place for us to grow.
We all have a gift of some sort. It's just my vision of what I see.
Theater allows you to hit harder and be more. There's a sense of hope that your story will survive longer than you will.
Stream on the Cascade PBS app or watch live. Fridays at 8:50 p.m. on Cascade PBS. Learn more at blackartslegacies.com.
Africatown Plaza is our latest affordable housing development project. It's 126 units of affordable housing over community commercial space.
It's the first time in my career, and I've been doing this for 10 years, that I was able to design for people who look like me.
Africatown Plaza is a beacon of hope.
Africatown Plaza is a love letter to the community.
The importance to share the history of the Buffalo Soldiers of Seattle and Buffalo Soldiers everywhere, including cowboys and cowgirls of color everywhere, is really important because most likely they're forgotten. It's important that they're acknowledged, especially for girls like me who look up to them.
At a rodeo, it's got an impact on people when they see somebody doing something like that, especially a person of color, you know what I mean? It's got a big impact on people, I think.
Representing the Evergreen State, I am your Miss Teen Rodeo Washington, Jessa Thomas. Welcome to the Windswept Farm.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. You know, this is an amazing opportunity for you to tap in not only to the Teen Summer Musical, but also Washington Rebels. I mean, they are building a team here that is connected to community and giving us an opportunity for those athletes to find another outlet for their amazing skills and talents. And of course, with 74 young folks going to be on the stage at Benaroya Hall, it's definitely something you want to tap into. Bring your families out. If you have folks here from out of town, this is a phenomenal way for them to see how we are pouring into young people in the artist world right here in Seattle and continuing a legacy that's been going on for 27 years, y'all. I mean, this is an amazing production, not only put on by some phenomenal professionals with Isiah and Michelle and the whole team at Acts on Stage, but also for these young people who just come on stage bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as they say, and they're so excited to showcase all of the hard work that they've been pouring in throughout the summer to their community. So let's not let them down. Let's get those tickets today. Go to Benaroya Hall, their website, or as he said, go to the box office during open hours so you can get your tickets and support these young folks and support this amazing opportunity that Acts on Stage, Seattle Parks and Rec, Benaroya Hall, Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute, all of these phenomenal entities have come together to make sure we continue this phenomenal legacy. Well, You know, for me, I'm always inspired, but I want you to be inspired. Doesn't matter what it is that is your passion. You can be a part of a solution that'll make the world a better place. So please dive into it and make sure folks around you and in your community get to experience your brilliance. Well, you know, I get to wrap up the week with y'all tomorrow, and I'm so excited to have you join me then. Until then, at 11 a.m., y'all, peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.